Your VSL sucks. So if you've not seen the right kind of conversions or sales from your video sales letter or even your webinar, you might want to listen up to this. So welcome back to another episode of Inside the Mind of a Young Entrepreneur. In today's video, I'm going to tell you guys a story about how I discovered this, and I will teach you guys what to do in order to fix the conversions and sales in your video sales letter and your webinar. So one Friday night, I come home, it's been a long week, and I just throw myself to the couch and I just decided to wind down, like open Netflix and see like what they have, just so I can like chill. It's been a long week and I just want to relax. So what I see is that in the banner they have this new series, and that is the story of the Eric and Lyle Menendez brothers. And like I've heard a bunch of it, but not really like went deep into it. So might as well just like watch a few minutes and see if I like it. And I remember I pressed in on the video or in the series and started watching, and then suddenly, like just from the get-go, I was hooked. So 5 minutes turns to 10, 10 turns into 30, and after all, I've just watched one episode, and then like you know that like these series, they have these like open loops. Then I just continue to the next episode, and then like by 4 or 5 episodes in, like I realize that they've just kept me hooked. Like every time I start to zone out, they just like they know exactly when to snap in and just wake me up again. So they are doing this continuous hook to keep me hooked all the way through and just selling me the next point. And then I realized like that is the exact same thing that we have to do in marketing whenever we are presenting our like sales asset, like the one that we are a long form selling presentation, whenever we are selling one to many. So when like you need to do this, because if you're just doing a normal PowerPoint and just showing people, like you're robbing them from the actually like actual value that you're giving people. Like I know you have all this value that you want to give people, and they like, well, it will change their life whenever you're giving this to them and putting them up to the sale and making them buy your product. But you're just shooting yourself in the foot if you're not optimizing this. Because in this series, like every plot, every story, every like major point in this video, it was timed. Like nothing was accidental. It was put in second by second by second to hold my attention and keep me watching and expand on this and make me just watch further and further and dig deeper in this hole. And that's what you want to do again with your sales presentation. You want to hook people in and make them watch all through the end and be so like have this buying feeling and putting them into this buying state that they like have no choice but to buy at the end. And that was what they were doing with me in that video, but in their case it was just like watching the full like on series. But whenever we can like do this in our presentations and leave nothing up to chance, and be so strategic with everything that we are doing. Like first we're hooking them in and we're doing these open loops, we are like then expanding, like telling a story and changing people's beliefs. Whenever we can do this and be precise about it, and also use the visuals that keeps people hooked, like that's where you have them, and then the sale becomes the only choice. And so many people tell me that like short form is the way, like nobody is watching like a 30-minute video sales letter. But that's wrong, because they're doing it wrong. People say we have attention span to a goldfish. That's probably right, but you just have to adapt, because you can't sell people on a one-to-many presentation in just a few seconds. But you need to do it in a long way and then adapt and keep people hooked, sell the next line, and keep people hooked with the visuals, the story, and how you unfold your video sales letter and your presentation. And that leads them up to this end that they have no choice but to buy. You see people do this over and over and over again. Like, take Tony Robbins, for example. He is hosting seminars that is 12 hours long. Like, for me, that's a freaking long time. And I would not be there. I could not be there and just sit still and listen for 12 hours. So that's why he is rewiring it. That you don't just sit, like, you're not sitting still for 12 hours. You are, if you've ever seen clips from a Tony Robbins seminar, like, people are hopping, like jumping up and down and screaming like it was some kind of rock concert, and doing all these, like, getting emotional, and like there's so many elements, and these are like being put in strategically to make sure people are hooked for what he's going to sell, but also for them to get the full experience. Because if he's not triggering these emotions, or if he's not keeping you hooked all the way, and if you're zoning out, like, you will miss the most important bits, and he will not have changed your life, which was the purpose of this seminar. So he's just wasted you. He's wasted time by just, like, imagine if he's just pulling up a PowerPoint and just standing there pointing for 12 hours. Like, nobody would attend these events. But now that it is 12 hours, he is putting these things strategically in, bit by bit. Every minute is strategically structured out to keep people hooked and change people's lives and make sure that it works every single time. And I bet you that he's done multiple tests and see what works. When should he put people in an emotional state to understand this? When should he rewrite people's stories? What stories should you tell in order to provoke people's emotions here? Like, these are the things that you need to think of in order to put and mold people into the state that you want them to be in, and have these hooks. Like, he can see in the crowd when their eyes is just, like, slowly, like, their lids is just so slowly putting down. Like, he knows, like, we have to, like, move our body, get up and jump as high as we can as possible, just like a rock concert. And then people, they are right on the go again. And that's the power of these things when you are strategic about this. And that is what, like, separates the big dogs from the small puppies. So I want you to implement this next time you're doing a presentation. Like, be really precise about this, not just put like this stuff out and see what works and, like, just hope and pray. Like, really be strategic about this. When you're going to tell this story, when are you going to put people in this state? What does people need to be in this state in order to consume this, or be, like, move them to the buying process? Like, you have to be strategic about this and know when to do what, and every line should sell the next line to keep people hooked, just like the TV series. Like, the attention just builds up, and then, like, when people makes this open loop at the end, you can, like, there's no other choice to continue watching. And that's what you have to do in your video sales letters as well, and your webinars. It's like, you're seeing people at the beginning, they're saying you're going to get this at the end, so continue watching. That's one thing, but there's multiple other things that you can do in order to keep people hooked and sell the next line, and put them into these states that they need to be in order to move forward in the sales process. So on that note, I hope you guys learned a bunch of this video. Please let me know your feedback down below, and I will see you guys soon. Take care. Peace. Bye.